You're in my car, brum brum.
A lot of people, I think, get like tipped upside down and get like drink forced
Yeah,
down
I'm
your
sure
throat.
Hey peeps. Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. Hope you're having a great day. You join us in an unusual setting to recently. I have had a flat battery which has just... This could be a very short video. So that was a little bit of a fail. My car still isn't working, apparently. The mechanic did come and he charged the battery, so I was going to drive it to kind of charge itself, if you get what I mean. But looks like we can't drive, so instead we're just going to do a little Q&A. I'm going to be the Q and Chloe here is going to be the A. Ooh. You are a university student, correct?
Yes.
What university do you go to?
The University of Sussex.
And how long have you been there?
2 years.
So if someone was thinking about going to Sussex, what would you tell them? Would you recommend it? Would you pros and cons kind of thing?
Yeah, it's really good. Pros, it's in Brighton.
The best place.
All the tutors are really friendly.
Another pro, you might meet the love of your life.
Yeah. All the people are really friendly. It's a good uni.
Any cons?
The campus is kind of ugly. Yeah, the campus is quite big, so you have to like trek from one side to the other.
But it is a good uni, isn't
yeah,
it? Like,
no,
factually.
Yeah, it can be like hard to get into.
And what course are you doing?
Psychology with clinical approaches.
Which is a 3-year course? 3 or 4 years? And what would you say to someone who is looking to maybe study some sort of psychology? What could you recommend to them to do or not to do, or to pre-study? Or
I think from what I've heard, a lot of the course is really similar to psychology A-level, but I didn't do that because my school didn't offer it.
So if you have done psychology A-level, it's a good place to start.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of like the basics for a degree. But I do clinical approaches as like my elective, which is like your like side subject. So you could do like things that complement psychology, like criminology, business. I kind of wish I did criminology. I don't regret it, but if I could go back, I probably would choose criminology because I find it more interesting.
But I guess there's sort of still going to be doors open when you've got
Yeah.
that foundation. Whatever job, whatever field you go into, they don't usually expect you to know everything. It's good that you have a foundation in any kind of psychology, and then they can train you, or do extended studies,
Yeah.
to do a course in specifically criminology as a further education from your degree.
I think next year we do a bit of criminology work.
Okay.
So like it's not all like clinical.
What's the actual qualification called?
Bachelor of Science,
Okay, and then you could go on to do...
a master's or a PhD. PhD is a higher level than a master's. I know you obviously need like a 2-1 and above to do a master degree, but I don't know if you need... I think you need a master degree to do a PhD, but I also don't know.
Okay. Because another thing is your specific course offers you the chance to do a placement year, right?
Yeah.
So that could tell you, wow, this kind of industry or this specific company or this field really interests me, and then that you might do really well in that, and they'll go, you know what, when you leave uni, we want you.
Yeah.
So then you get to the end of uni and you're like, bye. Like, you can always go
Bye.
back to it, obviously,
Yeah.
and do further education, but you might just fall into a job that suits you by chance. A lot of it's kind of by luck who you meet and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I suppose. So obviously at the moment we're in a strange time. Depending on when you're watching this, you may or may not know. So in the UK at the moment we are still amidst
Yeah.
amidst the the lockdown period for the virus. So at the moment this is a strange time. What advice would you give to someone in unforeseen circumstances like a lockdown or a family situation or a person going through something personally, all those kind of factors that you don't think about? You just think, I'd love to do this course and this is a cool uni, but there's things that are unexpected. What advice would you give to someone to keep motivated and all things like that?
Definitely reach out to your uni because they do have things in place for stuff like that, because like last year I went through some things that I didn't like talk to my uni about, and I kind of regret it because I thought, oh, this is so like awful, I'm not getting any help, like this is so bad, but because I didn't try to get help,
you
like
kind
I
of got
didn't
to ask to receive it.
I just kind of like sat and felt sorry for myself, and then
I guess they have so many students that if half of them are going through something at one time, if they don't know that, they can't just check on you constantly.
Yeah, I was kind of like let it happen last year. Like I didn't try to help myself really, or I just submitted things late and like thought, oh, why did I get a bad grade? Because you submitted it.
Yeah,
but
and
like,
you don't want them to think that you're just not trying, whereas
Yeah.
if they understand. Same with school, same with any level of education, even work. But if you just say, hey, like, going through this and it is affecting how I'm working,
Yeah.
I want to have some extra assistance. And I'm sure all unis vary in how good they are with dealing with that sort of stuff, but you've got, again, so many students that things do happen, even when you're working, when you're living your life, doing anything. Things that are unforeseen do just happen.
Yeah.
What about keeping motivated? I know it's tricky, but obviously
Yeah, it
you've
does.
still got deadlines and
Yeah.
essays and exams and quizzes.
Yeah, it does really like just depend on the person. Like I am quite self-motivated anyway.
What do you find gets you motivated? Is it sitting in a certain place? Is it having music on? Is it...
I think getting up and getting ready really helps me. Like if I'm just in my pajamas, I'm like, oh, I'll just watch one more YouTube video or whatever. But if you like get up and get ready and like think, okay, I'm gonna set everything out at my desk, have my laptop open, have my notes open, whatever. I think listening to like some music helps as well. Like while you're doing work, listening to like study music. There's loads of playlists on YouTube, different kinds of genres of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You work in a way of, okay, so I'll sit here on my laptop and I will, plan my essay until dinner.
Yeah.
Whereas I was more of the sort of person that I need incentives of, and because I'm not great at like sitting still and just getting on with it. Personally, I was more of a, okay, I'll sit here and I will do 20 minutes of whatever I'm doing, and then I'll stop and I'll go and see the dog and I'll get a snack and I'll come back. I'll do 20 minutes and then I'll go on my phone for a bit and then I'll do and stuff like that.
I find
little sections.
I'm so different because to me, if I were to do 20 minutes and then stop, I would
I
like
feel like it's incomplete.
I wouldn't want to go back to it. Like I wouldn't think,
Okay.
oh, I'll just do this and then go back to it. But I'd rather like just do it and get it over and done with.
Sorry, these two girls, I see them most days. I guess they're mates that live around here somewhere. And during lockdown, they've been having a little catch up like every day, and they walk on separate sides of the road.
Oh yeah, I see them. So,
How old do you reckon they are? They're quite young.
like 13.
Yeah, 13, 14. Bless them. That's quite a cool way to do it though, because then they can still... I mean, we do have phones though. Personally, I just FaceTime, but I guess they're getting their exercise as well.
Yeah.
With being homesick, now a lot of people go to uni far away from their home and they move out and they have their first living without parents experience. How did you find it, and how did you deal with the inevitable being homesick?
Well, in my situation, I kind of was not sick of being home, but like I don't love where I'm from, so I was kind of happy to get out of it. I think a lot of my friends felt the same.
Oh.
School I went to was quite like, they didn't like baby you, but they did enforce rules up until like the last year. Like you still had to follow, like a lot of people thought it would be like
you
slack,
feel
but
like
it
you're
wasn't.
being treated younger than you are when you are fully grown adults, and you
Yeah,
need
we were
that
18 being
independence.
told to like not walk in our hoodies to school, like, you know what I mean? Like I felt really like not dehumanized a bit.
Yeah,
extreme,
but
like,
being treated the same as you were when you were 13.
Yeah.
When, you're an adult, you can drink, you can drive, you not at the same time. You can do all these things and you can move out, which is why like uni, a lot of people see that as their opportunity.
Yeah. Obviously, I miss my parents and my cat and stuff, but I was happy to have new experiences because I was always kind of stuck within the same like city. Yeah, I was excited to experience new things, meet new people. Yeah, I think making sure that you're allowing yourself to participate with your housemates and stuff, because like when I moved, I was like, oh, I'm scared in case like they don't do anything and stuff, but I think just forcing yourself to step out of your comfort zone and like talk to the people you're living with.
Yeah, and remembering that
helps you.
everyone's in the same situation.
Yeah, we're all shitting yourselves.
You feel like, oh my god, I'm in this new place, all my friends are scattered around the country, what do I do now? But that is
Yeah.
how the 9 other people you live with are also feeling, so you can
Yeah.
kind of help each other through it.
I feel like having a full sense of confidence is really good as well, because like I'm not that confident of a person, I'm quite shy.
Like you say, that full sense of confidence. It's not fooling yourself into, I'm the most outgoing person out there. It's
Yeah.
just like, it will be fine.
Because it does actually work. Like I'm really not a confident. It doesn't work all the time. If you're feeling like, okay, maybe I could amplify my confidence a bit, then do it. It does help to pretend you're confident, because then it just comes naturally.
Okay, and so what about the kind of getting in process, how it all works? What is the process and how does it feel can you expect, really, if you haven't gone through that process yet?
So obviously with A-levels, you do your ASs in the first year of sixth form. Mine didn't go as planned for a few different reasons, but we won't get to that. Yeah, so basically my ASs didn't go as planned, so I didn't...
Which happens for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
I was exactly the same.
For that, I just kind of thought, okay, next year is literally my last chance, like I have to do something about this. I repeated some of my AS exams, actually most of my AS exams I repeated, and I had to kind of sacrifice some of my better subjects for my worst one, which was biology. I worked so hard at biology and I did get like above my predicted grade, which I was a bit proud of, but it did kind of sacrifice my better subjects like English because I didn't have enough time to work as hard on that as I would have liked to. But I still
it was kind of like you were exceeding in that but dropping in that, but you needed that, so that has to come down a bit in order to focus your time. There is only so much you can do.
Yeah, you start applying to what unis you could possibly get into with the grades that you have. Sussex wasn't my first choice because it didn't have the highest grades of all the unis I picked, but I did want to go to Sussex, but lo and behold, it didn't get into Bath, so here we are at Sussex.
Which worked out well.
Yeah. But yeah, UCAS is kind of stressful. It's not the end of the world. When you get into uni, you realise that it's not the end of the world. I think go for unis that are realistic. Don't try and think, oh, all my friends are going to Oxford, so I'm going to apply to Oxford, because if you're not going to get in, it's just setting yourself up for failure. I never applied for anything like that because I was like, I'm not going to get in. But you also be open to you might change your mind of what subject you want to do. Like I started sixth form thinking that I wanted to go into law, and by the end of it I was like, I do not want to go into law. Yeah, I went to a few like different experience things for law and decided that it wasn't for me. So just be open to, even when you go into uni, just be open to the fact that you might change your mind. It might not be a full like subject change, but it does happen to some people.
And not everyone even copes with uni in general, and
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with, I mean, people say dropping out, but choosing to leave.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of people I know have left uni.
I did go to an art college which I was going to do a 1-year foundation course in, and I chose to leave that. I got a job, I saved my money, and now I get to live in a place I've always wanted to live with the person that I want to live with.
Yeah, dropping out isn't always the end of the world.
Okay, so university life. So that's an experience on its own. I think a lot of people are swayed into going to university 3/4 for the whole experience. I know that was definitely something that crossed my mind, is I'm going to see all my friends going to all these cool clubs, cool parties. What do you have to say about uni life other than the academic side?
It is the first kind of independence you're going to have if you had the stereotypical like go to school, go to sixth form, go to uni life. A lot of people are kind of anticipating the whole like university drinking culture and going out and getting drunk and doing every drug in the world. For some people it is like that, and some people it isn't. Like you don't have to...
Don't feel forced into it. I'm at uni, but because I want to get my degree, I'm happy to go to the pub occasionally, but if you don't want to go clubbing, or you don't want to do drugs, or you don't even want to drink alcohol, and there's enough people in uni to hopefully find people that are like you.
There definitely is.
So don't feel weird for being anywhere on the spectrum.
Yeah, like I went to uni excited to experience freshers life, and because I knew like you were going to come along and it would be fun. I think more towards the beginning of the whole process I was kind of not scared, but like a bit like, oh, because I was like, oh, I'm going to have to go out every night, I'm going to have to get so drunk, like I'm going to have to do all this. It's really
just
not
do it when you want to.
It's really not like, well, in my experience it really wasn't like that. I think the first experience most people have with drinking is as a teenager. There is a lot of like immaturity and cliques and stuff, but in uni everyone, in my experience, everyone kind of respects the fact that you're all like going to be in your 20s or in your 20s. You don't get like tipped upside down and get like drink forced
Yeah,
on
I'm
your
sure
throat.
like some people do in the lad culture and what have you, and if you are up for that, do what you want. If it's not something that you're actually gonna enjoy, you're letting yourself be bullied into it, which in university everyone's adults, you shouldn't have to experience stuff like that.
I definitely did notice a big change in maturity when I went to uni. Not in myself, but within the people I was surrounded by. Like I definitely noticed like, oh, these are adults. Yeah, I didn't feel like a kid anymore. I didn't feel like peer pressure to do anything. I just felt like, okay, I'm an adult surrounded by other adults.
Yeah, that's really good. And as you can hear, the weather is starting to change. We should probably head back in a minute.
I don't want to get out of the car.
But one last question. Do you have any regrets?
I'd say I regret my first term of first year because it kind of set me off for a bad academic year, I guess. Like I didn't use the facilities in my uni to help me with the things that I was going through at the time, and I just kind of let it all build up and stress me out, and it kind of affected my whole first year. Like I had a good year as a whole, but academically it wasn't my best at all. It helps you find your flow of what you like
And
to
what
do
to
and how you
expect.
study, and how to write a uni essay.
It's
'cause
going to carry on like this, so if you can't be bothered to do it now, what's to say you're going to be bothered to do it for the next 2 years?
Most people have never written a university style essay before they go into university. Yeah, I do regret my first year a bit, but at the same time I had fun, and no heroes.
Oh my god, we're going to be trapped in the car! So we'll quickly finish off that question as the rain seems to have calmed.
Yeah, so I would say that I regret not working as hard as I possibly could have in first year. It's really good in that your first year in most unis, I think at least, doesn't really matter. But obviously it is good to get yourself into a flow. It's not the end of the world if 1 year you don't do as well as you possibly could have, because all of the years you do kind of count. Felt like I let myself down in my first year because I was like, oh, I'm gonna do bad in the second year. Then it doesn't mean that you're gonna do bad the next year.
Something I didn't mention is Chloe actually wasn't aware that this is what was going to happen. I was thinking on it. I took the dog for a walk about an hour ago, and I was thinking, could do a Q&A, gonna do a uni-based one.
Didn't
just
drive,
because
but did a Q&A.
Interesting, but yeah, good answers. Obviously, Chloe has not finished her university degree, so maybe we'll do an updated version in a couple years.
If I'm still there.
There's no doubt that there'll be more that you learn about uni life, about everything that we've touched on in this. This is just obviously one person's experience and opinion on things, so it can vary person to person, but I just thought it might be a bit interesting because there's a lot of stuff that even we haven't really spoken about. We've experienced it together in the kind of 2 years that I've known you. So I just thought it might be a little bit of insight for you guys, whether you're thinking about uni, whether you're experiencing first year, whether you're doing your dissertation and your final year and you just had a curious mind about what it's like for someone else who's sort of halfway through. But if you guys do have any other questions for Chloe about uni, leave them in the comments below and maybe we'll answer some or whatever you feel like doing. And of course, if you haven't already, Chloe Rafferty over here does have a YouTube channel of her own, so I should hope you're all subscribed, but if you're not, the link will be down below as well. Thank you for being a part of my video. I hope you had a good time. Now wish us luck to try and escape the car. Anyway, like, subscribe and all the YouTubey things, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Stay safe. Bye!